Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever, where today we're going to be casting a 4v4 played on MapGen. Let's go ahead and get into introducing our players, but before we do so, we need to establish that Team 1 is up here at the top, Team 2 is down here at the bottom, and you can get these amazing channel emotes that are showing on your screen right now by joining the channel membership, or you can get your very own replay review by joining the channel membership or joining the Patreon. I will review your replay, you just have to send it to me. So, without my useless shilling, we will go forward. Let's start by introducing the rearguard air position player for Team 1. A lovely color, but a horrible commander. It's a maroon seraphim, going by the name of AT-AT-8. Then, moving down to the south, we have ourselves a white Cybran going first land by the name of Fong. We've seen him quite a bit. Then we move to the northwest, where we have ourselves a green Cybran by the name of Naberwasser going first land. Then over to the last player for Team 1, an orange Aeon going first land by the name of Zio. And then we move on to Team 2. Yet again, starting in the rearguard air position, we have a Cyan UEF, best faction, best color, going by the name of Lapkey, and he's started first land. Then we have an Aeon Gray Aeon, and his name is Icy Nightmare. First time I've seen him rocking anything but a UEF commander. He's going to come onto the field with this Aeon tech. Let's see if he shows us anything fancy. Then over to the east, we have ourselves a pink UEF by the name of Infamous Pig, building his hydrocarbon. Then we have, last but not least, a green Seraphim. Very nice green, very poor calm choice. Going first land by the name of Amygdala as he sinks beneath the waves and makes his way over to his expansion. And with all of the introductions out of the way, we're on a MapGen map. We can look at the reclaim, about 8,000 probably before we of course started the match and everybody got to reclaiming. And these players going to be able to get out and reclaim quite early and get everything running quite early. Naberwasser is heading to the middle, as well as the comm of Zio heading in the same direction as Icy's comm. So Zio and Icy are highest rated players, both 1800s. We have some 1500s strewn in with these players as well. That would be Amygdala and Fong. And then we have a 1300 and a 1200 in the two air players, AT-AT-8. A little bit higher rated than Lapkey at 1300 and Lapkey at 1200. Then we have a 1000 for Team 1 by the name of Naberwasser, and for Team 2 a 300 by the name of Infamous Pig. So, gonna have to see how those ratings affect the match, but overall I don't think it's going to have the biggest impact because there's such a wide range of ratings. There's so much that can just randomly happen. Naberwasser up here already getting his expansion quite early, much further ahead than his opponent Infamous Pig. They are slot balanced, so they are in opposing slots. So Naberwasser but definitely the only player with a large lead against his opposition. And overall, we just have these players kind of meeting up, doing their thing. Icy just going for a triple factory build, and he's not even going to go for any adjacency. He just wants the factories, and he wants them now. And that seems to be Icy's kind of status quo. He really likes to have a lot of units on the field, and I cannot fault him for that. Amygdala making his way to his expansion. There's a little bit of air going on. There's a Jester out trying to be annoying. Looks as though the Jester is going to pick up an engineer. That's going to be very unfortunate for Amygdala. That's the first engineer he's had come out here to help him expand. And it looks as though the second one is also going to be shut down at just as rapid a pace. There was a cliff built factory over here to help Amygdala get more build power on this eastern side. He's probably going to lose the build power. I doubt he loses the actual engineers. I'd like to see some interceptors coming out from Lapkey to help out his green ally, because this is just a really brutal opener coming out from Fong. Fong really creating issues for his opponent, Amygdala. Sorry about that. My nose is all runny. My room is about a cool 48 degrees. It's freezing in here. My room is not part of the central heating, and I cannot have the heater on while I play because it just makes a lot of noise. So bear with me if my nose is a bit runny. Hopefully that's not too annoying to you all on audio. I don't even know if you heard it that time. But I'm going to be sniffling, and you're going to have to deal with it because I'm casting a whole bunch today. Over here to the east, we have ourselves a speed and range upgrade on the way for Nabarwasser. Getting really early into the upgrades on this comm. Nobody else has even started an upgrade from as far as I can tell. So that's going to be very useful for him. Good luck, have fun. The only other thing thrown in chat by AT88 trying to be a gentleman as ever and wish his opponents both luck and fun, and probably his allies, but I don't think he cares about that. He just wants his allies to have good luck. He doesn't care about their fun. Over here, Zio has built an Eruptor, which is a formidable defense without any kind of artillery in play, and it doesn't seem as though Icy has even queued up artillery, so that's going to probably be a really effective stronghold against Assault. Over here, some tanks on the west side pushing forward. Going to be able to get some kills on some interceptors. This is just very poorly. Yeah, it's just it's 2 APM. Select the unit and have it move. You can definitely make this happen. Losing those interceptors could prove fatal if he needs them later on. Maybe he's short by 2 interceptors on the snipe that tries to kill him, because we're in a lower rated game. 1800s generally do get sniped off in these types of situations. Range now on the way for Icy Nightmare. That's going to be the first upgrade. I would be surprised not to see speed following that up. No, maybe he'll go for sensors actually. Speed and range finished up for Nabarwasser. He's also going to be going for stealth. So he's going for the Rambo of Ramboist Cybern comms that you can get this early on in the game. Going to be very, very fun to see how that goes. Amygdala now pushing forward, being a little bit aggressive with his comm, but Fong doing the same in kind. And Fong doing a little bit better at getting his production up. Seems as though Fong's going to produce a lot of issues now for Amygdala, as his units are starting to get into the back line, starting to get in that forward production that was set up not so long ago. We have some units out from Nabarwasser that are going to be coming over here to the area where Infamous Pig is, and Infamous Pig really just doesn't have anything on the ground to deal with this, so these 4 units going to be an existential threat to the forces of Team 2. And now we have a bunch of engineers coming up. Looks like a PD is going to be they're going to try to throw up a PD as quickly as possible is lap key, but you can always run around a PD, and these units going to be able to get in towards the main base of Infamous Pig and produce issue for him. And yeah, Infamous Pig losing a lot to just this little attack. Speed now on the way for Icy Nightmare. He's using a T1 bomber to get rid of that point defense emplacement, and look at that. He does still manage it with the interceptors, but it would have been easier with more interceptors if he didn't let some of them die to the ground forces. But overall does stop the T1 bomber from dealing any significant damage to the PD. It's still over half health, still able to be a good fighting emplacement. Over here to the north, more Aurora out from Icy trying to run by, but man, that was a nice bomb out from Zio. Over here to the east, seems Amygdala and Fong are in a heated discussion using their giant cannons on the ACUs to try and see who can control this little 3 mechs territory. Seems Amygdala is just a madman. He's like, I'm going to keep walking forward and you're going to die. But in fact, it seems as though he's going to keep walking forward and he is going to die because he's on such low health compared to the Kama Fong. It's going to be a little bit dangerous. There's some units now getting into the backline over here. There's a Stinger gunship now on the way out towards the eastern flank with Amygdala and Fong. Coming from Lapkey, he's getting a few gunships, in fact. Stingers on the way en masse. Is this Stinger going to get a few shots onto that spam? It is. That's going to be quite useful for him. And over here in the east, Amygdala is continuing to do his aggression, but he just needs to kind of hold out for a little bit. He's getting T2 on the comm. There's now Stinger gunships going to be showing up to try and pressure the comm of Fong. Fong might be in a little bit of trouble. A second stinger is going to show up very, very soon. He's asking for help. Is there any help to be had? No, there is just simply not. He needs to get himself to the water. These stinger gunships are going to add up their damage quite quickly, and he's going to be in trouble. So he has to get to this water over here if he has any chance of living. These two gunships will eventually kill him. His health going down to 5,000 health, may even be going lower. Over here to the west, Zio and Icy Nightmare engaged in a heated battle. Over here, we're going to keep an eye on Fong's comm, and we're going to get rid of the minimap as we look over here to Icy Nightmare because Naberwasser is showing up to put some pressure onto Icy Nightmare's comm. He's driving Zio into the water. Fong also almost into the water. Is he going to make it? He's down to 2,400 HP and falling 2,000. He's below that. I think he might be able to get under the water just in time. Just as he falls to 500 HP, he stops getting shot. And that is going to be an unfortunate failed snipe attempt, but we could see some torpedo bombers coming out because there does not seem to be a lot of air presence from the opposing team. Over here to the west, Icy has managed to push the comm of Zio out into this lake, and he's also possibly going to force Naberwasser out as he has all of his units starting to converge, and Naberwasser just doesn't have any units here. All of the units belong to Zio, and Zio is running away. He's at T2. He has blazes. He could help out a lot, but Naberwasser going to go into the water, going to lose a lot of HP on that comm, and Icy Nightmare going to be a very dominant showing over on this western side. As long as he can manage to not die to the spam coming out from Zio, he should be in a good position. Over here in the east, Amygdala with Fong's comm gone. He's going to be able to get a little bit more done. He's gotten T2 on the comm, so he can start PD creeping if that is how he chooses to move forward in this match. And over here to the west, Icy Nightmare still just trying to probably keep these comms out from coming out of the water. I think that would be a scary situation. I think both these comms coming out could very possibly kill him, especially if some blazes show up and kind of clean up his T1 land spam. And over in the main base, I believe this was just a run-by, but it could have been a drop out from Naberwasser. Kills off all of the main mass extractors for Icy Nightmare and killing off his power grid now. 3 vet mantises. That's going to be very painful for Icy. He's going to take a long time to recover from this. And he even has run-bys over here. Naberwasser really showing the power of his T1 phase. He's doing very well for himself. He managed to come over here, stop Icy from killing Zio, and now he's over here just dealing so much damage to the backline of Icy. He's going to be able to kill off some of these land production facilities even. Or maybe he's just going to decide that he wants to kill off the mass extractors in this corner. Either way seems to be a very decent play, and he is really just going to town on all this. Icy, though, is in a difficult situation. He's down to 2,000 HP. He needs to lower one of these comms to 2,000 HP. If he gets either of them into death range, he will almost certainly be able to kill both of the comms by himself. He decides to control K in a hopes that you got one of the comms low enough. He didn't, though, and that's going to be very unfortunate for Icy and his team. Full share is enabled. Our first ejection of Icy. More units in the backline of Icy's former base. These units managing to clean up those mass extractors. This is just a very hard situation now for Team 2 because he was the only one really managing to take ground from his opponents on this side. Amygdala getting a few units up here, it seems. He was even able to take over this expansion over here, but he just kind of overstayed his welcome. Probably needed to fall back a little bit earlier, but if he falls back with the comm, the 2 comms against him kind of just push forward and deal with him, I would assume. Over here on the eastern side, Fong is getting stealth on the comm, and he also has himself a bit of stuff going on. There's a tactical missile launcher that could come in very useful. Amygdala, I'm sure, knows where the comm is. No, he doesn't. But with a simple scout, could very well know where it is. And he can go for the T2 mexes in the main base. This is just going to be a brutal tech missile emplacement because I don't think that Fong currently has the ability to easily throw up a TMD. I don't know if he even has a T2 engineer yet. No, he'd have to wait for the build time of the T2 engineer. You could literally TML the factory before the T2 engineer was able to get up the TMD. He would be able to get up the TMD eventually, but it would just be very painful. So I think that this tactical missile launcher really needs to pay off. I think Amygdala needs to make sure he's not stalling too hard so that way it builds somewhat quickly. as Amygdala starts to push forward towards Fong and towards his comm. I don't think he knows where the comm is, but he is pushing forward. Stealth still not done, still only at 50%. Fong down to a very low 2000 HP. I wonder if that's just from the 500 earlier or if any other damage has been inflicted on that comm. If stealth finishes, this could be a very decent comm for, it could be very decent for Fong. It does give 3000 HP now, but is that going to be enough? It seems as though Fong is warding away the units of Amygdala by using his own. And I don't think Amygdala saw his comm, because if he did, he would just right-click on it and at least force a cancel on the upgrade. Speed and range now on the way for Amygdala, and it's going up quick with the addition of that T2 that he got earlier. And a tactical missile literally would just kill Fong right now. If he got some good scouting, this could be very, very dangerous for the White Cybran of Team 1. But it seems as though he's going to be safe for a little bit longer. And overall, things are going pretty slowly. On the western side, Zio is starting to gain a lot of ground and starting to push what was Icy Nightmare's base back. It doesn't seem as though Lapke is paying too much attention over here. He just seems to be focused on getting himself to T3 air production as quickly as possible, and it does seem as though he beat his opponent to T3 air, which is going to be nice. He may even be able to get out a strap bomber, kill off a lot of production. And we should probably bring the mini-map back. Sorry, I forgot to turn that back on after I got rid of it whenever we did the split screen. There you go, for all you sweaty people who want to see everything going on the map. Amygdala now going to be pushing forward with that speed and range comm. He's going to be able to get a little bit of damage done. Up to 5,000 health after that first upgrade. The second upgrade doesn't really give him any health, so I don't believe that gun speed and range gives you any health. Wouldn't think it did. But overall, this upgrade going to be finishing up momentarily as Ilshvas start to join the forces of Amygdala in a bit more force. The T2 HQ has been destroyed by Amygdala using the tactical missile launcher. Another TAC missile coming inbound. Is this going to just kill the wreck? It is. That's brutal. I wonder if he's going to continue to just throw TAC missiles out towards the mass extractors, because there's not a T2 engineer over here. If he just throws it towards those mass extractors, Fong has almost no economy to afford to spam units. Over here, Nabarwasser is going to try and show up to help out his ally, who's in a sore spot indeed. And Fong gets killed by a Control K. He just gives up. Didn't see anything coming that way to try and kill him, so I'm guessing that was just him reaching his breaking point after losing that T2 HQ. He did not want to go on with the fight. Amygdala now over here with the T2 and gun speed and range comm. He's a relatively tanky comm with a lot of damage per second, so he's going to be able to fight off some of these units for a while, but he does need to keep some units close just for safeguard protection. And now we see Nabarwasser with 2 bases. We're gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to deal with having that double base situation. And on the north side, it's been very quiet. Zio doesn't seem to be focused on putting out very much aggression. He has some units building up over here, but doesn't seem to be doing all that much with them. Some broadswords now coming out for Lapke, and it seems as though a transport has been set up by Nabarwasser. It seems he wants to set up some kind of cheese over here, but I think that that's just going to be shut down as soon as it was a thought in the head of Nabarwasser. And over here to the east, we have Amygdala fighting off the spam forces of Nabarwasser. He's using formation move, which is possibly a good idea, but I think that just using normal move would have been better in this situation. I don't think even normal move would end up with better results. He does get in, he does kill some stuff, but like, this was just a bad assault. You're going up against a comm and a bunch of T2 assault bots. It's just not necessarily going to go well for you. Over here, an air fight happening between Amygdala and basically all of Team 1. And Amygdala is going to lose it, but he's also going to be able to kill off this production over here, I believe. It might take a while, and maybe these Ilshvas die, but I think he might be able to just get enough damage done to kill off this production. I don't know if Navarwasser is able to spend his mass. He is able to spend it currently. Is he doing anything spicy for that? No, he's just getting to T3. T3 air? Wait, he got T3 land, and he is building Corsairs. So, gonna have to see if his early T3 land does anything for him. I don't think anybody else is at T3 land. T3 air achieved for Amygdala, which is an interesting call out from him. And he's still producing these T2 units. I'm sure the second he sees T3, he's going to realize he needs his own T3 land production. And over here to the west, it doesn't seem as though those blazes really did very much. But he's at T3 land now, and he's starting to produce Redeemers. And I'm assuming Harbinger is going to be coming up quickly behind that. And over here to the east, as I said, those production facilities, it may take them a while, but these Ilshevas and that Zui gonna slowly be able to kill off all of this production. Every time a new wave pops out, these Ilshevas take no time to dispatch it, and this is gonna be a dead base for Nabarwasser. Broadswords out on the field for Lapke. There are some ASF in the area, but is there enough? It seems as though, I think if you get the Broadswords AA involved, maybe you can win this. But no, those trades just went horribly for Lapke. Seems AT-8 has his air micro a bit more dialed in than his opponent. Does the Broadsword AA have enough to even kill one of these? No, it doesn't even seem as enough for that. It seems as though this AA is just really lackluster on the gunship for the UEF. Broadswords, they're beautiful. They have all that ground DPS, but the air DPS really sucks. It's no, it's really just no. What's the name of the Aeon one? Do you have T3 air yet? No, you don't. Can I queue it up and see what T3 air units? Nope, I can't. I don't have that option to me. Restorers is what I think it is. That's what I thought in my head, but I'm not sure if that's the name of it. I'm just, the T3 Aeon gunship, which has a lot more anti-air. Over here in the center, there is a bit of a fight starting to pop off as, Ilshevas and T2 units of various varieties for Nabarwasser start to fight. There's even a Loyalist in the mix, but I think the Loyalist really needs to be microed against this. Ilsheva's just in a straight up fight where they're both standing still or not doing much micro. Gonna be able to take that down. Ilsheva's very good at trading with the T3, not assault bots, but the raiding bots. I don't even know what what is the Loyalist considered? Let's see. It's a siege assault bot versus armored assault bot. Yeah, that's not a mouthful. So overall, we seem to be in a lull at this point. I'm going to speed it up a little bit just to see if we can get past this lull. Our players not really fighting each other very much. Monkey Lord now on the way for Nabarwasser. T3 air has been achieved, but he's not really using it for anything. He's not producing all that much T3 air for Amygdala. In the middle, there's a bit more of a fight going on, but nothing crazy. Nabarwasser over here in the pond. He was trying to use that stealth gun comm to get some damage done over here, but I think he's decided it's not really working for him, and he's going to fall back for now. Just trying to find a hole to poke in Amygdala, who's admittedly doing very well this game. Lapke not doing poorly himself. An Infamous Pig admittedly did get to this stage and does have himself quite well set up on this front line. He's built a fire base that I don't think that his opponents really want to walk into, but overall he's kind of just doing those 300 rated things. He's going for the fire base of doom. He's very scared of pushing forward and taking mexes that aren't super safe. And for some reason his mass extractor has been gifted over to Lapke, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate. I don't even think he will know about the reclaim trick. He's building Titans, which is quite the funny situation, building a lot of Titans in fact. And overall just gonna be able to see a little bit of fighting going on. Broadswords being brought up over here to the west. Another air engagement possible, but it just seems as though AT-AT-8 is gonna have more air units, and Is he going to be able... Is he going to log on to the broadswords and give a good turn over to Lapkey? No, it doesn't seem so. It seems as though they're going to be fighting on even ground, and Lapkey, just having possibly the worst air turns I think he could have, is going to lose all of his ASF pretty much immediately. I don't even think that... I don't know, but I'm pretty sure AT-AT-8 just won this air fight without taking a single loss. And he's going to shoot down more broadswords. Going to be dumping the mast right over here for Lapkey to suck up again, but of course that is a inefficient way to get your reclaim. You generally want to be killing enemy units to get your reclaim. Kind of works out better for you if you kill the enemy units, because you didn't pay anything for those. They did. Corsair's being shot down by Amygdala, who does have T3 air. I guess maybe this is why he's gotten T3 air. He's shooting down these Corsairs, trying to shut down that kind of air aggression coming out from Nabarwasser. And overall, right now, what I'm curious about is Zio. Zio really does not have very much going on. I guess he does have this push over here that I just kind of glossed over, but he has a really strong Harbinger push going on. There is T3 land now for Amygdala. He does have Othams out onto the field, but is that going to be enough to stop all of these Harbingers? 5 or 6 Harbingers in the area. Going to be able to focus. It looks like they're focusing their fire even onto the Othams, and also will be able to be able to dodge the damage of the Zooies quite easily. This could be dangerous, especially if it starts growing in numbers. Over here in the middle, though, it seems as though there's an assault on the base of Infamous Pig, who's just built an Omni, surprisingly enough, and can't afford it. So props to him. He's worried about intel. Now he has an Omni. He can see things. He can be scared of all the little gray dots on his screen. Yeah, those are some scary gray dots. And over here to the east, there is a large group of Harbingers still just raiding their way through the lands, doing whatever they damn well please against these units. Why are there Yinzines in this force? I don't know why you'd build Yinzines unless you're going for a hover strategy. I guess maybe he is going for a hover. There is a lot of water for hover. Laser on the way for Nabarwasser as he brings his loyalists forward to try and help out the Harbinger push. Going to be a small sideshow attraction to the main force over here, as it is cleaned up almost immediately without the micro that Zio is able to provide. And Zio, let's look at economies while all this is going on. Amygdala on the highest, followed by Lapkey, followed by Zio, followed by Infamous Pig, AT-AT-8, and Nabarwasser. Zio and Infamous Pig on almost the same ecos, which is extremely surprising to me because Zio is in the same slot that Amygdala is in, and he's just kind of behind economically. Like, he's just not quite... He doesn't have the same economic production or anything, really. And I don't really understand that, because Amygdala had a much more hard-fought battle to win his side, and it took him a lot longer. You would think Zio would be ahead, but he's kind of just behind economically, which is weird. I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to that northern side, but it didn't feel like very much was going on over there. It seems like all the action's been over here to the southeast with Amygdala putting on pressure and getting pressured back whenever he does. Large force of Mantis now coming through the water over here, or through this little land passage next to the water. Pathfinding really not being kind to these Mantis. But they will be able to kill off a lot of mexes as long as they move forward over here and even kill off a stealth tac missile battery. Seems as though Amygdala's trying to hide up the fact that he was going for that. He's trying to be a bit sneakier, and he might be able to get away with it. If he control K's this, you can control K building structures, by the way. If he control K's this, it will go much faster, and he'll be able to hide his sneakiness. Nabarwasser has now built a Monkey Lord, and he still has laser going on the comm, I believe, so... An interesting play out of Nabarwasser. He's going to have the Monkey Lord start to walk southwards, because there's not really much other way to go. If you go north, you hit the border of the map very quickly. And overall, these players, yet again, not very much going on in the form of attacking each other, but everybody kind of ecoing up, everybody kind of doing these poking, prodding attacks. It does seem as though Nabarwasser and them did not see this at all. So this is going to be just fine for for Amygdala. He's not going to have to worry about his secret strategies being shown to the enemy. The Monkey Lord starting to push south. Over here, a large group of Loyalists, Mantis, and Sky Slammers showing up. Gonna just stand their ground and fight, which is interesting tactic, but does not seem to be working very well so far. Harbinger's gonna show up behind this, try and salvage the situation as Zio. Zio, as I said, still not doing that great economically, which is just kind of surprising to me. I mean, like, he's only a few mass behind Amygdala, but I would expect him to be ahead at this point. He is going to be going for, I guess, a T3 air grid. Seems like he's going to be doing it later than Amygdala. Amygdala is not even really focusing on it. He just has some ASF just in case, like, hey, I need to stop something killing me. It's more of a it's a very defensive air instead of something attacking oriented. And the Monkey Lord now coming into the water, going to join the comm. The comm still not done with laser. It's going to take a nice long while. I don't even know if Amygdala is aware that the comm is there. Doesn't seem to be. He's working on laser, but he doesn't have cloaking. So why doesn't Amygdala see the comm there? I don't know. Vision is kind of weird with the Cybern comm and water in particular, in my opinion. Like, do you require Omni because he's both underwater, or do you require a sonar? Because I would think it would just be vision. He's not cloaked, is he? No, he's not. Strange. There is a Monkey Lord. Do they know about the Monkey Lord? That's a question to ask. No, they have no idea about the Monkey Lord. But I believe there's a chicken. Yeah, there's a chicken about to be completed for Amygdala. So Amygdala going to be able to respond to this Monkey Lord with quite possibly one of the best responses, which is a better experimental. So yeah, Harbingers now getting shot at by these Usha-Ahs, which I apparently, because I play so little Seraphim, did not know that when you select these things, you have like an option for it to be faster fire rate or sniper mode. And apparently everybody uses sniper mode because the faster fire rate sucks because it misses like all shots. Over here, there's a bit of an air engagement, which is the Monkey Lord shooting down all of the air of Amygdala. Not all of it, but very slowly going around to doing that. The comm of Infamous Pig still sitting in his base. That could be a very, very weak point. But if you kill that off, you're giving somebody else 249 eco. You're probably giving Amygdala 249 eco, because if we go ahead and look at the scores... No, yeah, Amygdala is even ahead of Lap Key, so it's going to be useful for him. All of these broadswords probably just going to chase around the Monkey Lord. I'd keep the Monkey Lord underwater until your team can find a way to deal with the overwhelming air force of Team 2. Actually, I don't even know if that's an option. Like, it just seems as though Team 2 has so little, or Team 2 has so much air that it's going to be hard for any land aggression to work for Team 1. Nabrawas are now going for cloaking on the comm. So he's going to be a very stealthy microwave laser comm. Is that going to be enough? The Monkey Lord seemingly going to go for a snipe onto Infamous Pig, and I think that they know where the Monkey Lord is pretty much at all times. So this is going to be a fruitless effort to try and hide the Monkey Lord. Torpedo bombers now coming in. And the Monkey Lord makes landfall, immediately targeted by broadswords, and immediately going to be taking a very quick diet. Those broadswords with their crazy DPS on those cannons is going to fire at the comm, but it's not even going to get a quarter of the way through the shield before it goes down. And that Monkey Lord is quite possibly one of the most convenient mass gifts in the history of man. That's a lot of Alohas. What is the point of this? Is he going for a snipe? What is he going to snipe with that? Infamous Pig sneaky. He had vision of it like the entire time. How is it sneaky in any way, shape, or form? I love chats. I love the chat. Oh, cloaking still on the way, and once that finishes, it'll be dangerous. But by the time that finishes, it may be too late. Now there's a chicken on the mainland, and I don't see anything to respond to the chicken. There's a nuke launcher now finished up for Zio, and that could be quite dangerous. But I'm not sure what you'd achieve with that. Another nuke launcher going to be going up. Amygdala trying to get his own nuke launcher up. The question is, where do you nuke? Honestly. A fat boy now on the way. You think he's going to try and use the reclaim? Or, wait, has he reclaimed anything this game? He's gotten a decent amount of reclaim, so I'm assuming he knows how that mechanic works. But if he's stalling mass at any point, he should just... Yeah, he's going to start reclaiming with the comm to try and get the mass deficit to be positive, or get a mass income, and use all of the mass from that Monkey Lord to build a fat boy, which is a very good play. The chicken now being surrounded by loyalists. If these were all bricks, there is a brick here. This would probably be a very close to dead chicken. But overall right now, these loyalists not going to do much. They're not even focusing the chicken. And this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem that needs to be assessed very quickly. Air production out from Team 1 is starting to ramp up, and they're going to need a lot of air in order to deal with this. They need to get a huge air win very quickly. All three players remaining producing ASF. Is it going to be enough? Will they be able to get enough air in time to protect the Corsairs? Because the Corsairs are probably going to be what's going to kill off all of this, and they need to just need to fucking work on it. They need to, like, I don't know why I said fucking. Like, I'm not all that. I'm just really rooting for Team 1, okay? No, I don't know. I'm just getting into it, I guess. But they just need to like consolidate and come up with a solid plan, because they're all kind of doing their own thing, and it's not really working. Everybody's trying to like run on their own way, while Team 2 is doing the same. Like, they're kind of doing the same thing, but at the very least, Amygdala and Lapkey are working together. Lapkey's been protecting Amygdala and his units quite well, and been handling the air fights quite well himself. AT-AT-8 has way better air micro than Lapkey, so I think that if he had gotten some support earlier on, or maybe they could have put pressure not allowing Amygdala to get to T3 air of his own, that might have been an option. But right now it just seems a little bit like Team 1 is out of options. They don't have any experimentals on the way. This nuke launcher is going to be done with its nuke very, very soon. The Fat Boy now finished, and this Yathoda continues to push forward. I'm going to go ahead and track it for a little bit. The cloaking comm is damn near finished, so going to have to keep an eye on that. But chicken is going to be working by itself to, or not by itself, it's going to be working towards the north. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with words all of a sudden. I'm going to blame it on the cold. But is working towards the base of Naberwasser. And he's going to be able to deal significant damage to said base once it gets in range. Going to be able to kill off this mass extractor, which I think just finished upgrading, which is unfortunate. And cloaking has been finished for Naberwasser. The chicken's going to continue to push forward. The comm of 1 second. We're going to go to split screen, because the comm of Naberwasser does indeed have tracking now. Oh, I can't track on one screen and then do the other. Okay. The chicken comes in, seems as though the Corsairs did pass, and Naberwasser is now starting to push south with his cloak comm. Over to the north, this is the most dangerous area. We could see a nuke launch at any moment. He should be able to scout and just throw his nuke. He is throwing a nuke. It's going to be going over here for Infamous Pig, who's just now building his SMD. Infamous Pig going to start running towards the water. Is that going to be enough? The chicken and the entire army are on the way. A bunch of T1 bombers now coming out, and Corsairs coming out to try and deal enough damage to all of these units. The chicken down to 26,000 HP, which sounds like a lot, but you can really deal that much damage very quickly with T1 bombers. He's getting up a bunch of Oblivion point defense. He's going to try and hold out against this. The nuke is coming down. Is Infamous Pig going to be able to live? No, it does not seem so. Naberwasser is now making his way down south, walking fast. And over here, there's so much going on. There's so many battles happening. Let's just go ahead and get a beautiful view of everything going on. And Amygdala has built an experimental. The chicken walking into the base over here and just destroying the base of Zio. The Cloak Stealth Com doing quite well. It's killing off some of these forward production facilities and starting to walk towards the forward base of Amygdala, but I think that this side is doing a lot better than the other side. Alrighty, let's go ahead and end the split screen because on the northern side it seems as though everything is kind of a foregone conclusion. I think all of the bases now die. There's just not enough from either AT-AT-8 or Naberwasser. The question is, can Naberwasser use his comm to kill off 3 enemy comms just by using the cloak feature, which I would be surprised. Because all that needs to happen is one of these comms go into the water. In fact, I'm so sure that it's over that I'm going to speed up the game to +10 in the interest of not wasting anybody's time. It's ground firing strap bombers to try and kill off the comm of Naberwasser. I do want to point out Zio does control K. I do want to point out that Lapkey is truly ground firing. He can only see that. That's all he can see. Just a little outline. It's hard. It's even hard to see whenever you see all this stuff going on, and he's trying to hit it. He's trying oh so desperately hard to hit that. I wish that somebody would just tell him he needs 1 T3 scout. AT-AT-8 trying so hard to protect his ally, trying to stop this from going down. But an experimental showing up, even if that chicken just walks down alone, Naberwasser dies. Naber putting up a fight to the bitter end with this comm, but now a chicken shows up. And Naberwasser has to start dodging. He's even going to micro the comm against all of these units. We can see this brave Cybran cloaking laser comm run and do the Twin Rivers Tonga. Or Twin Rivers. Is Tonga even a dance? Tonga time! The Twin River two-step and try and get away from everything, trying to dodge those plasma balls, but one hits, and the comm of Naberwasser goes down. And with that, the game's over, because there's another chicken about to kill the comm of AT-AT-8, who is also going to go out in style. Unlike Zio, the 1800, these two players going to walk their comms into their certain demise and try and fight it out. The tiny Seraphim ugly robot fighting the giant Seraphim ugly robot. Actually, this giant Seraphim ugly robot sees the tiny one as like an afterthought, not even focusing the comm. Almost none of these units focusing the comm, they're just putting insult to injury. We'll go ahead and speed it up because we'll do this. And watch him run away from his Seraphim enemies, and he dies as well. Thank you all for watching. You all have been beautiful. I'll see you in the next cast. There's going to be a bunch of casts going up pretty much daily for a little bit. So, well, as long as everything goes to plan. So hopefully you all are enjoying. Thank you all. Please consider joining the Patreon and the channel membership. It helps me out a lot. As I said, I'm still unemployed for a little bit, so it does help quite a bit whenever you all give me any amount of support. $1 is more than you would think it would be. And you all are beautiful. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, my patrons. Bye-bye.